So our review of the initial program for this project was that budget was going to be our biggest challenge. They had an available budget of $223 per square foot based on the original design square footage, and we knew that it would be a challenge to deliver this facility for anything less than $375 per square foot based on our experience with recently completed corrections projects. So we knew we had some work to do. Thankfully, Alpena County is a resourceful bunch. They just needed some help getting there and expected us to lay out a roadmap. First and most importantly, we knew that we had to use Design Assist to have a shot at making this happen. The Design Assist process includes engaging specialty trade subcontractors early on in the design phase to assist the designer with the completion of the design and actually having the subcontractor that's responsible for putting work in place working with the designer. The benefits of using a Design Assist process is predictability of outcome, utilizing target value design or actually designing to a budget, improved constructability, constant estimate feedback from the trades. It's an interactive and collaborative process. Allows for early procurement of long lead item systems and equipment. It allows for fast-tracked buyout and construction. And it also involves the trades with major decision-making, actually having the trades involved with making those decisions. We'd successfully utilized Design Assist on a number of other corrections projects and understood the benefit and the necessity if we were going to be successful of delivering this project within budget. In this case, Design Assist trades were brought on board as schematic design was being completed. We solicited 7 trades through Design Assist. They included detention equipment, kitchen and laundry equipment, pre-engineered metal building, fire suppression, plumbing and mechanical, electrical, and security electronics. Cumulatively, these trades accounted for 59% of the construction costs. The next step towards reducing project costs we had to implement on this project is the use of 3D building modeling, or BIM. Design Assist trades worked in stride with the design team, modeling their respective system elements in a shared model. This allowed us to start the BIM coordination process simultaneously with the completion of design documents and run clash detection and address issues well before the start of construction. This is a vast improvement over the traditional design bid build process, which causes a lapse in progress between when the drawings are completed and trades are bid before the BIM coordination process can begin. Really, that detracts from the value of BIM coordination and typically struggles to keep pace with construction. The use of 3D modeling allows trades to be more accurate in their estimating and increase the reliability of takeoff, and thus reduce design contingencies and guesstimating to refine estimates. As we got Design Assist trades on board and started working through the design and budget, we confirmed what we thought we already knew, which was that the schematic design that was developed on board the CM and Design Assist trades wasn't going to work no matter how hard we tried to value engineer cost out of it. Essentially, the floor plan was scrapped and we had to start over. But because we were using Design Assist, we were quickly able to pull together a conceptual building floor plan and system layout that would work for their available budget. All Design Assist team members and Granger Construction agreed to enter into a GMP based on a PDF sketch that the team developed. Ultimately, now we're in the process of delivering Alpena County a state-of-the-art facility within their budget that will be completed in January without major scope sacrifices and without compromising owner goals and expectations for the facility.
The county sought the help of a local construction firm and an architectural firm out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, neither of which had hardly any experience in jail construction specifically. That combination of consultants put together an estimate for a 39,000 square foot facility with 106 beds, came in at a price tag of about $11.6 million for a budgetary number. Unfortunately, soon after that, the county commissioners learned that the information they were working on was flawed. There was approximately 15,000 square feet of the building that got missed by the inexperienced construction company and architectural firm. So as a result, the $11.6 million would only cover about 62% of the proposed project. So With that, of course, those consultants were dismissed, no longer needed. So Granger Construction was hired at that time, and Granger was very honest, very blunt, said, this is going to be a tough deal to try and get you close to what your needs are with the money that we have to work with. The advantage that Granger has is they had lots of unit costs from building like facilities in surrounding counties in Michigan, and had a great database to go by. So all the credit is given to Granger for developing a different design on the jail where it could come back in and be within budget and get within a reasonable number of beds so that construction could begin. And with that, I stand here today in this beautiful facility that's high technology, very secure, and a great looking facility all the way around that the voters of Alpena County can be proud of.
We've known that we've needed a new jail for a number of years. The oldest section of the jail was built in 1956, and it's getting wore out. The jail is in operation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So it never really gets a rest. We've had issues with the current jail to include roof leaks, asbestos issues, safety and security for the inmates and for the staffing, heating issues, cooling issues, plumbing issues. As I said, the jail was built in 1956, so there are times when inmates damage equipment here, and to replace that equipment has gotten extremely difficult because of the age of the facility itself. The biggest thing that we wanted to get out of the new facility was safety and security for the inmates, safety and security for the staff, technology upgrades, the ability to separate inmates according to their classification, which is something that we're having difficulty with right now, better security, such as maximum security cells. We're limited on that right now. The new facility will have that. And the biggest thing, obviously, is the technology, being able to use technology for not only my staff, but for the inmates as well. So the current facility, as I said, is dilapidated. Okay, we've got, it's difficult to heat, it's difficult to cool. The lighting is extremely poor. Natural sunlighting is important for mental health. There are some cells in our current facility that have no windows in them whatsoever, so no sunlight whatsoever. The new facility with the skylights that we have in there, the windows that we have in there, the natural lighting that we'll be able to bring in is absolutely tremendous. So there's huge benefits in and of itself for mental health, which is huge for us. The safety and security for not only the inmates but for the staff. Here we have difficulty with keeping the different classification separated. With the new facility, we're not going to have any problems whatsoever. Here, we're limited on what we can do with female inmates. With the new facility, there's not going to be any problem with that whatsoever. So security is also an issue. Maximum security cells here, we only have 3. And over there, we'll have plenty for maximum security. The whole process, the booking process, is going to be a lot different compared to what we do now. So that's a huge benefit as well. Well, I tell you what, Pauly Jail was amazing, especially with all the details they went into. You never realize the type of lock mechanisms and other things that they specialize that we're able to bring into this facility. You know, the keys, the number of keys, the hinges, the doors. I mean, it was just incredible, the different things we went into. In cooperation with Pauly Jails and Granger, the goals of safety and security for the inmates, safety and security for the staff, all of what I explained to you before, the team has been absolutely wonderful to work with and assured us that all of our goals are going to be met. And from what I'm seeing right now, they're doing an absolute beautiful job.
We wanted to hit on several of the out-of-the-box ideas that were utilized on this project to help deliver this within budget. Most of these ideas were the result of the design assist process and highlight the benefits of this delivery method. First and foremost was obviously a square footage reduction. There's no way to build a jail for $223 per square foot that complies with building codes and DOC requirements. This team was able to reduce the building size from the 39,000 square foot that was originally identified in the program to just over 28,000 square foot. Secondly, we knew we had to reduce masonry wall density. The original schematic floor plans that were developed prior to us being hired were congested and inefficient to build. The heights of masonry walls, the number of corners, short spans between intersecting walls, use of sub-day rooms, and the small room areas made this a difficult masonry job and thus drove up masonry costs. The alternate floor plan that was developed addressed these concerns and reduced the masonry wall costs.
It is square.
Next, we utilized a pre-engineered metal building. Selection of building structure and envelope is always an important budget decision on a project. Typically, one of the first exercises our pre-construction group does on a job is to conduct job-specific assessment of these building systems to determine what is most appropriate for each individual project. On the Alpena County Jail and Sheriff's Office, it was determined that a pre-engineered metal building offered the most cost-effective system for structure and envelope. Additionally, Kent County issued a purchase order direct to the pre-engineered metal building vendor to procure the building direct and thus saving on sales tax. On average, structure and envelope costs $85 per square foot, but in using a pre-engineered metal building on this project, we were able to reduce this to $64 per square foot. We used Pauly Jail for our design assist detention equipment contractor, and they engaged Steel Cell of North America on this project. And working with those guys has been an absolute pleasure. These guys are the most knowledgeable players in the game, without a doubt. This job would not have been successful without involvement from those two during the design assist process. We explored several cell alternatives, including masonry, steel wall panels, and prefabricated steel cells, and without contest, prefabricated steel cells were the least expensive way to provide the cell space, but they're also superior to the other cell types. This project includes 26 prefabricated cell units in 1, 2, and 4-man configurations. All 26 cells were installed in a single day, which would have taken months of on-site construction time and months of staffing and general conditions to boot. Factory-applied polyurea coating is way more resilient than any field-applied coating. The steel walls, floors, and ceilings withstand the abuse from inmates much better than masonry, concrete, or drywall ever could. And utilities have a single point of connection on the backside of the cells. In addition, just plain and simple cost and quality, there's an advantage of using steel cells over other opportunities for cost reductions. Also, utilizing prefabricated steel cells offers other opportunities for cost reductions. Since steel cells meet the State of Michigan Department of Corrections requirements for a secure perimeter, exterior walls can be simple pre-engineered metal building structure and envelope. As you can see, the rear chase is the secure perimeter, and behind that is just a utility chase space. An additional cost benefit that came out of utilizing our prefabricated steel cells is the use of modular cell controls. We're working with Accurate Controls for security electronics on this project, and we've worked with them many times in the past, but their involvement in the design assist process has been remarkable. Accurate Controls offered a prefabricated approach to steel cell-mounted security electronics devices that offered a plug-and-play installation for items such as door controls, intercoms, and cameras. Each cell has a PLC box factory installed on the back side of the cell with a flexible whip that allows cells to simply be linked together in the field. This provided a huge savings of approximately $2,500 per cell over having these field installed, where each cell would require an individual home run for each device. Again, time and general condition savings were recognized on top of this. Another cost reduction item that we implemented on this job is the use of abuse-resistant drywall and studs with expanded metal mesh above masonry. One of our cost reduction strategies on this project was to minimize the square footage of masonry, which is expensive to build, and instead maximize detention stud wall assemblies. Where possible and where approved by the State of Michigan Department of Corrections, masonry walls were transitioned to stud-framed walls with abuse-resistant drywall and expanded metal mesh. These wall systems cost just over half the cost of grouted solid masonry. Next, floor treatments are always a topic of discussion in a jail. These floors always need to rank high on the abuse resistance spectrum, then aesthetics depend on available budget. On this project, Alpena was willing to sacrifice aesthetics, but maximize function. We leveraged our self-performed concrete experience to influence the design to include an exposed concrete slab with a fluid-applied densifier and a Consolidec LS Guard concrete sealer that is going to be very resilient for a long time and very economical in cost. It was about 50 cents per square foot compared to polished concrete, which starts at about $3.50 per square foot, or epoxy, which starts at $5 a square foot and can go up to $15 per square foot depending on system. Lastly, since plumbing and mechanical account for approximately 20% of the cost of work on an average jail project, this is a large focus when it comes to cost savings. They had a big role in project cost reduction opportunity. Having these trades as part of the design assist process is obviously important. One of the biggest cost decisions that was made on this project when we were going through value engineering was to utilize constant air volume packaged rooftop units for the jail wing and furnaces for the office wing. While that was one of the biggest cost reduction items, it was important to not sacrifice quality when it comes to long-term use of the facility. For instance, we still have Willoughby combi units in all of our cells and day rooms, which was important to the facility to make sure that we utilized Willoughby because they've had so many problems with some of the other plumbing manufacturers. So ultimately, the utilization of design assist, three-dimensional modeling, and as well as some out-of-the-box strategies for cost reduction ultimately resulted in us being able to deliver this facility, jail and sheriff's office, to Alpena County and the community. This was largely in part to our relationships with Pauly Jail, Steel Cell of North America, Accurate Controls, Willoughby, and our Brinks, to name a few. We're very proud of the way that this has come together, and we're excited to wrap up this project in January. And with that, throw it back to you in Indianapolis, Joe.
Okay, Todd, I just want to say that was a great presentation, and I wanted to thank, if you get an opportunity, please thank the sheriff and the county commissioner. I thought those were great statements that they made. We appreciate that. All of us on the team, I think, appreciate the whole team effort for this project. And while you were doing this presentation, we got a couple of really good questions in, I think. I'm going to give you the first one, Todd, was there a schedule advantage to utilizing steel cells versus traditional masonry construction on the Alpena County Jail?
Yeah, that's a great question. I hit on it a little bit in the presentation, but to maybe add some specificity to it, our masons were installing between 400 and 500 masonry units a day. If those cells would have been masonry, it would have added approximately 26,000 masonry units to the job, which would have, in effect, added between 50 and 60 working days to the project. Not to mention the amount of time that it would have taken to install plumbing fixtures and air devices and light fixtures and electrical rough-ins and all the other parts and pieces that come on a prefabricated steel cell. And then obviously the modular cell approach that we utilized, again, helped to reduce cost. I think that an off-the-cuff estimate would have been that while those things may not be strictly linear, we probably would have added at least 3 months to our construction schedule.
Okay, fantastic. All right, the second question for you again, Todd, is Alpena County is in a remote location in northern Michigan. Were you guys able to involve any local contractors on the project?
Yeah, we did. It was a goal when we were onboarded as a construction manager to utilize local contractors and local labor. I think that because it is somewhat geographically isolated in northern Michigan, it only helped to foster local participation. For instance, our mechanical contractor is local, our electrical contractor is local, our building erector was local, and all of our earthwork trades are local. So as far as dollar figures go, more than 50% of our job is being performed by contractors. They're located within Alpena County. And then that figure is increased when you consider the fact that some of our contractors are either signatory or utilizing trade workers that are local to Alpena County. Like, for instance, Joe, I know that you guys are signatory and with the iron workers, and you guys are using iron workers that are local. So that helps to increase that local participation factor that was important to Alpena County.
Well, great. We're going to wrap this up then before the intermission, but I want to thank all the people that have presented already, Charlie Brink, the Titan fellas, and the guys from Granger. The presentations were great. By the way, we are getting in a ton of great questions from people out in the audience. Please don't stop that. Keep them coming. We'll have plenty of time to get those answered in the live Q&A.